Going to paint this adorable winter polar bear. So we can pick his scarf color. We're going to do wet on wet over his body so you can watch and see how to do that and create this adorable piece. This guy's so cute. Let's get started painting him. So I am going to add a little bit of water here to my polar bear, just a thin coat of water. You don't have to have any paint in it unless you can't see. Just kind of watch your lines a little bit. And I'll just do his body for right now, and then I'm going to put some pigment, your watercolor, right in here, and it's going to start flowing all over the place. So whether you're a kid or a kid at heart and you're doing this fun whimsical Christmas motif, like so, and we'll get some pigment down here in his little leg area, and we'll just kind of let that dry. You can just pop in some pigment along some of the top areas or along some of the lines, and it'll start to disperse as you see here if you want to. And that may be a little bit dark, so you can always just press down with your paper towel or just move the paint around. And that way it doesn't look quite as plain as I started off with. Give a little bit of detail. And this area here would be kind of lighter because that's where it's coming to the foreground or to the front. And now I'm going to take some water here and I'm going to do it differently and put lots of water and pigment together in my brush and go carefully around his nose and his eyes, or could be a her. And I'll make that a little bit darker and do the same thing and kind of, now that that's all wet, add some darker. I wouldn't go all the way around the outside or it'll look kind of funny to have a strong line around the whole thing, but you may want it to look funny. Polar bears aren't really blue, they're white, so you might want to leave them mostly white and just add a little blue here and there. And I'm moving some of that paint around where I put my paper towel down so it doesn't look too funny. Okay, so we also have his ears, and so we have to come up with what we're going to do for those. I'm going to go not to the outside and leave a little white of the paper there. And then his skates, I'm going to make them like a little bit of a gray. Maybe they're white skates. So they just have a little shadow on them. If you've got a gray at home, you can just paint that gray. If you just have a black, then you might want to make sure it has a lot of water in it, unless you want your skates completely black. And now I'm lightening that color like that. His blades, I think, are going to be a silver color. I might add a little bit of blue to mine just so that it looks a little more silvery. Just like that. And he's got his fluff over here. Leave a little bit of white. And how about this icy skating on? We can follow this line. We can draw whatever we want in the background. And once you draw it, if you clear your brush off and you just add a little water to that line, it'll kind of just spread a little bit. Like so. So I'm going to turn this around so I don't put my hand in my drawing. And I'm going to make his scarf red along here. And a white stripe in between. And you can put a design in this area if you want. You could make polka dots or a plaid. You could put stars on it. You can make it look like it's knit. You can do all kinds of cute little things here. Or if you get a white gel pen, it's fun after your painting is nice and filled in with color, you can go over it with a white gel pen afterwards. Yeah. I want to make this darker because I can see the white of the paper through there. So I'm adding another layer in here so that covers that up. And it'd be fun if you did this with family or friends or had like a group activity and everybody paints theirs a little bit differently. It's always fun to kind of compare. You don't have to go all the way to the edge in these kinds of fun drawings. It's fine if you leave a little bit of white there. And so the next thing we'll do is I'm going to make his nose black. I'm going to leave a little bit of white in the middle and just put the tiniest little dot for his eye right there. And I'll put a little bit of darker blue. And another, maybe pop in a layer there to make it look like a highlight. So then the last thing we have to do, if you want to, is to go over your snowflakes. And so I am going to just, with a little bit of pigment and water, I'm not following each of those lines because that does not seem like fun to me. If it does to you, then you knock yourself out. And there we have it. Our ice skating polar bear.